The Sinaloa cartel, formerly led by Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, is in the middle of a power struggle that has officials at the border on high alert.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 drug lords that are still active.
Now, with El Chapo doing life here at the Supermax prison in Colorado, they are in charge and in demand by American authorities.
For this list, we'll be looking at high-ranking cartel bosses that are still at large. Have you heard of these drug lords? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Enadina Arellano Felix. While the Tijuana cartel is nowhere near as influential as it once was, it still has a hold in Baja California.
He says gang violence is not new there, but this is like nothing he's seen before.
It was once a branch of the Guadalajara cartel, but like the Juarez and Sinaloa cartels, splintered into a separate organization in the late 1980s. Heading the Tijuana cartel is Enadina Arellano Felix, who took over for her brothers in 2008 after most of them ended up captured or killed.
In 2012, Mr. Arellano was sentenced to a term of 25 years in prison for a non-violent drug trafficking offense.
Also known as La Jefa and La Madrina, Felix was born into a family of narcos and has been in the business her whole life. As the final holdout, Felix is keeping the family trade afloat from behind the scenes, and she remains a fugitive from the law. Number 9. Christy Kinahan. Known as the Dapper Don, Christy Kinahan is an Irish drug smuggler who's wanted by a slew of organizations, including the DEA and the Irish police.
The United States Department of State is pleased to announce a reward of up to $5 million.
As of April 2022, authorities are offering $5 million for his arrest. Born in Dublin, Kinahan has a long criminal history, beyond just drug smuggling, including fixing horse races, money laundering, and 6 murders. Kinahan's operation made its way into the mainstream news in February 2016, when 6 hitmen from a rival criminal killed Kinahan's associate David Byrne at Dublin's Regency Hotel.
This is war. They tooled up and dressed themselves for war.
The intended target was reported to be Kinahan's son, Daniel. Number 8. Eduardo Almanza Morales. Nicknamed El Gori Segundo, Morales is a lieutenant in the Mexican cartel Los Zetas.
In Spanish, Zeta is the letter Z. The gang took its name from the tactical radio call sign for commanders in the Mexican army.
The syndicate is a relatively new organization, having been founded in 1997. Initially, it comprised deserters from the Mexican army, working as mercenaries for the Gulf Cartel, but split off into its own group in 2010.
The Zetas have contacts on both sides of the border, in the American side and on the Mexican side. The commander gives the order to kill, and the soldiers take care of locating and killing the target.
Morales was a corporal in the Mexican military until joining Los Zetas in 2003. There are rumors that he was killed in a shootout in 2009. But the authorities aren't sure, and there's a reward of 15 million Mexican pesos for his capture.
To put an end to the gang, experts insist it will take a concerted effort between the U.S. and Mexican governments.
Number 7. Yulan Adone Archaga Carias. On November 3, 2021, Yulan Adone Archaga Carias was placed on the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives list. Carias is suspected of leading the international criminal gang MS-13 from Honduras.
They commit, violent acts worldwide to support their prestige, enhance their reputation, and to exert control on the territory and the populace with which they seek to influence.
Originating in Los Angeles, MS-13 may have a global membership as high as 70,000 and is deeply involved in organized crime, partaking in the likes of racketeering, money laundering, and drug trafficking.
They start to spread out to different neighborhoods, and eventually over time, they begin to set up in other cities around the United States.
Authorities suspect that Carias is providing weapons and drugs to MS-13 members based in the United States. The FBI is offering $100,000 for help in capturing him. Number 6. Guillermo Alejandro. Back in December of 2017, Juan Carlos Mesa, the founder of the Colombian cartel Mesa family, was arrested and imprisoned. It seemed like he has since been supplanted by a man named Guillermo Alejandro, It is believed that Alejandro and the Mesa family provide illegal drugs to Europe, and Alejandro delivers the narcotics inside live exotic animals. As a result of this association, Guillermo Alejandro has since become known as El Bestiality Bandido. This sounds like a bizarre mix of Narcos and Tiger King. If more information becomes public, Netflix will have a field day.
What do you carry that gun for?
People.
Number 5. The Chapitos.
The 4 most trusted sons of the world's most notorious drug kingpin.
After Joaquin Guzman, also known as El Chapo, was captured for a third time in 2016, 4 of his sons, the Chapitos, took over parts of the Sinaloa cartel.
Here's the poster just released, El Chapo now caught, but it came after a bloody shootout.
Their names are Ovidio Guzman Lopez, Joaquin Guzman Lopez, Ivan Archivaldo Salazar, and Jesus Alfredo Guzman Salazar, also known as El Raton, the Mouse. Ovidio was actually arrested back in October 2019. However, his arrest sparked the Battle of Culiacan, in which the Sinaloa cartel fought the Mexican army and threatened the families of servicemen. The intimidation worked, and Ovidio was freed.
Tonight, Mexico's president is defending the decision to call off the raid, saying too many innocent people were at risk.
He was arrested again in January 2023, leading to another wave of violence. Number 4. Maxile Barahona Nadales. Nicknamed El Contador, Nadales is the leader of Los Zetas, the same group as the aforementioned Eduardo Almanza Morales.
They can buy anything they want. Commercial airlines, private jets, helicopters, all the drugs they want. They have so much money.
Although it's a relatively new cartel, having broken away from the Gulf Cartel in 2010, Los Zetas has developed a reputation for horrific violence, including beheadings. Its operations include extortion, kidnapping, gun running, and drug trafficking.
Center of gravity for narcotics has now moved to Mexico. The reason for it is all about geography, because whoever has the geography is going to control the very lucrative gateways into the United States.
Not much is known about its leader Nadales, except that, like many in the cartel, he was once a member of the Mexican Special Forces. There's a sizable reward for information that leads to his capture. Number 3. Juan Pablo Ledesma. Ledesma is the current leader of the Juarez cartel.
When we arrived here in Juarez last night, we were told that 12 people had been killed in the previous 2 days. Nobody is safe in this city.
Founded back in 1970, Juarez are rivals of the Sinaloa cartel and are also based out of Mexico. It imports drugs into the United States using its location on the U.S.-Mexican border to its advantage.
The demand for illegal drugs in the United States is stronger than ever, and attempts to stem the flow of drugs from here into the United States have ended in dismal failure.
The Juarez cartel is particularly feared in Mexico, as it often uses brutal displays of violence as an intimidation tactic.
This young wife came up to me and she said, "I've got my husband's body, but I can't find his head."
This violence is typically carried out by the armed enforcer faction of the cartel, La Linea. Ledesma once had an intense rivalry with El Chapo, and it's believed that Ledesma ordered the execution of El Chapo's brother, El Pollo. Number 2. Nemesio Eseguera Cervantes. Often referred to as El Mencho, Nemesio Eseguera Cervantes currently heads the Jalisco New Generation cartel. Like some other cartels on this list, the Jalisco New Generation is known for its savage use of violence against rivals and security forces. Cervantes is currently the most wanted man in Mexico, and American authorities are offering a staggering $10 million for information that leads to his arrest.
But I think we all need to recognize that just taking off the head of the snake, while it's very important, it's also critical to disrupt and dismantle the entire organization.
Rumors swirled in 2022 that Cervantes had died in a private hospital, but these reports have not been substantiated, and he is still sought by authorities.
But in the absence of clear command, factions within the CJNG are beginning to assert their own independence, causing increased violence.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Ismael Zambada. Going by the nickname El Mayo, Ismael Zambada is the leader of the infamous Sinaloa cartel. Back in 2009, Mexico published a list of their 37 most wanted drug lords. All have since died or been captured except Zambada. In fact, he has never even been arrested.
And they move, constantly from safe house to safe house. So the rewards are largely very symbolic.
In 2020, it was revealed that Zambada's health had been failing and that he's losing influence to El Chapo's sons, the aforementioned Chapitos.
A major power struggle in the Sinaloa Cartel, Mexico's largest and most powerful drug organization.
Regardless, Zambada is still a wanted man, and a reward for $15 million has been set for his capture.
The U.S. State Department to increase its reward by $15 million for information leading to the capture of any of those in the battle for Sinaloa control.